wish I'd done one last night.
Yeah,
At the restaurant. But
oh yeah.
yeah.
My favorite character right there.
The three of us.
Oh sure, where's Steve? Soldier Angels.
Where's Steve? Steve, come here. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
Marty.
Okay. That's the boss.
Are you what the school?
Can I be? Is that all right? Is that all right, sir?
is that your character?
That's mine.
Well, can you get it? Can you get it?
Sure. I'll send it to you.
Okay, gonna do a quick one. All right, Jason.
Marty.
Hey, Paul, you here?
Sorry? That's you.
Get Joey. Get Joey.
John, step outside and report first. You're reporting too. Got it? No.
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
That's Steve. Steve, I think you had a show soon.
You got one for every day of the week, pal.
Hello, Stephen J. Dodd. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Man.
Mike. Oh, I thought you were going to go to the car.
I thought you said you were going.
Thank you.
I'll go.
All right, meet you guys.
Can I get a picture of you?
We get this around that back.
Sure, you got one.
Alright,
This is the beauty of the photographer.
one more. It's dark.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had my hand.
We're going to do this.
Hey, where you at?
Okay. I mean, get it. Oh, I am. Being on
You heard something?
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, thank you.
There you go, I got it. Yeah,
You might have to unzoom it. It got zoomed in.
It's sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's just do this. It will be easier to do it this way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Yay.
Hello.
Coming out?
Yeah, it's a little bright. That's good. Would you take a picture of us?
We're gonna start this thing.
Let's do official Mego Museum portrait with Brian
Okay.
and Steve.
All right. Joe, get in here. Hey.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, let's get started.
You guys do something here. Quick update. Let me start off with, I, from my bottom of my heart, thank all you guys, because it's all about you. This has been a spectacular year for us, and I want to thank you so much. You know, we came here last year for the first time, probably, I think the last time I was in Mego Meet was in New York.
2004.
Yeah, was it all 2004?
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago. And I wasted a lot of years, because if I should have understood then what Mego was, and I was not, in that moment in my life, prepared to embrace it, which I am now. It's been spectacular. When we came back here last year, we had no idea. We were launching with one company, which was Target, across the board, 2,000 stores, but no matter what we were at high, that's still limited distribution. Because when you go up against a Hasbro or Mattel or Funko, I mean, they're everywhere. You stop down, you pick up, you go on, you find another one, you go on. And so we went out there and we had just a spectacular first year. In fact, it was so good that we're literally going to be in every retail store in the country this year. I mean, that's obviously Walmart and Kohl's and Books and Media and Hot Topics, Forever. I mean, it's just across the range, and it's all because of you guys, because you're the ones who carried the water for us for the last 20 years. Otherwise, we would have had the momentum to pull this gargantuan thing off. Having said that, the brand is really expanding across all the characters that we could get. Obviously, we didn't get Marvel, we didn't get Star Wars. Marvel was ours, Star Wars wasn't, obviously, but we're in the process of doing other things to bring them into the party. Joel is the president of the company, he's the CEO of the company, he's the guy who's literally taking the concepts, the ideas from a piece of paper to manufacturing to distribution. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and show you some of the new stuff that no one else has seen before, because we think that you guys are the ones who deserve to see it first. And so Joel's brought some of that stuff out. Before I get into that, what we call the reveal, is there any questions? This is very freewheeling. It's all about what I consider us. It's us as a group, as a team, that you want to ask so we can get you up to date and give you ideas what's been happening. Anybody want to jump in? Please.
Have you thought about doing some Mad Max Megos?
Big time. I mean, big time. As a matter of fact, we went to Australia to talk to the guy who created that whole thing, and the process is begun. You know, that's a perfect Mego position. We want to do the classic Mel Gibson piece, and the last one, which was just a spectacular piece. So the answer is yes. We have not signed contracts yet, though.
Is that including vehicles?
Sorry?
Does that include vehicles or just the figure?
Well, here's the thing. The premise of what we do, you guys know how the whole thing started through Action Jackson. We had all these vehicles, we made all these tools and molds. And Action Jackson, when it came out, it exploded, and then we had a whole issue. We had the television show, we had to bring it up, pull it off the air. The cost of money to do these vehicles individually is extraordinary, especially by today's standards. You do a vehicle, especially in our scale, they're between $60,000 and $80,000. We know the vehicles are spectacular. We have to build a brand first so that we can follow with the vehicles. It just, the numbers don't work for us. The reason we've been so successful in what we're doing is that the licensors say that we've carved out a unique niche. So they give us the opportunity with a small advance against the royalty to bring all these products out. I mean, we brought out, how many brands have we brought out?
About 100, I think a little over 100.
100 characters in a single year. Now, so we just left the tool the heads, do the painting masks, buy the fabrics, cut the fabrics, inventory stuff. So we're a tiny little company. You know, there's only 8 of us. So when you look at Mego has this great panorama of size and look and feel, and now we're going to be everywhere, but we're still a very tiny little company. So the answer is yes, I want to do vehicles, yes, I want to do a Batmobile, yes, I want to do a whole range of space characters in Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers context, but that's going to take us another couple of years. One other thing, somebody asked me earlier about the funding that Hasbro did with one of their products, and are we going to do that with some of our stuff? And the answer, what? Crowdfunding. And the answer to that is obviously we'd love to. We just haven't got the horses inside the company to say, okay, you're responsible to go out there and build a sample so we can go out there and figure out how we're going to do it. Yes.
How about the Orville or Star Trek Discovery? Any current shows that are on that you're planning on bringing into the Mego line?
Yes, yes, and yes. The Discovery is part of the Star Trek family. We've opened up beyond. I gotta watch what I say because I don't want to step on his toes and tell you what can be and not announced. But we have, we clearly have opened up the whole Star Trek banner. So we've gone beyond the classic, we've gone into Deep Space Nine, we've gone into Next Generation. We have the rights to Discovery. When all this stuff is coming, he'll touch base with on that because that's under his bailiwick, and I don't want to jump on anybody.
As far as the Orville goes, Orville is under the Fox brand. The merger between Fox and Disney, things were kind of up in the air. When things settle, we'll be able to go in and start talking to them.
I mean, the perfect example is Planet of the Apes. One of the things where's my ape man? There he is. Yes. So I mean, that's the perfect plan. That now is in discussion. We have not yet finalized anything, but we think we should be there in a reasonable amount of time, yes.
You're a wrestling company with big money behind it. You're going to be on the TNT in the fall. And you could probably get the license easy now and have product right when they're in the
Again, every time we trailblaze, we stumble.
Well, these are guys who left WWE, which is the #1 action figure in the country right now.
Right.
So yeah.
Because we are negotiating with WWE for their classic characters,
right.
Like Hulk Hogan, like Macho Man. Those characters. That's who we negotiate with. Not their current stable, but their classic stable, which is really what we want to be comfortable with. The people who have left WWE to start this new grouping, we have not followed that. But thank you for telling us.
It's worth looking into.
Absolutely.
Marty, marketing was really big for Mego back in the 70s. You did the Action Jackson commercial, and it was a smash hit. Kids loved it. TV producers not so much, or the FCC didn't like it so much.
No, not at all.
The future of Mego's marketing, is that going to be more Instagram? Are we going to see feeds on when we go to Facebook or when we go to YouTube, and we're going to see a Mego commercial maybe pop up before some of the YouTube creators' videos in here that we make YouTube videos? It'd be nice to maybe get a 5-second or 10-second or 15-second spot pushing Mego product line, whereas people, as they're using Google searches or they're using Apple searches, that they're able to get a peek at what Mego's doing these days.
That's a lot of things you just said there. So let me try to cut through it. Which the premise was to recreate the Mego look and brand in as many of the old licenses we previously had. Now, obviously, some of them we couldn't get. We could not get Good Friends of Marvel. We could not get 8-inch DC, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on with Joe, and certainly Star Wars. So we had to turn around and get other brands that, although Mego didn't do, they were brands that everybody would immediately associate with and would bring us into that. But having said that, I got to this level of my age in life that I'm still competitive, and I want everything. Now, having said that, we had to create new twists and new ideas. So having said that, we did that, and we are coming out with all the stuff that we couldn't get. I'm not going to name what we couldn't get, but you heard it in the previous sentence. And we've created a different method and a different strategy to deliver those concepts to the marketplace, which are very collectible and very, very much in play patterns. And so the answer is you're going to see a lot of that stuff. Now, some of that stuff is going to, quite candidly, need classic marketing strategies, not unlike we did back in the 70s. A lot of it's going to have YouTube positions. A lot of it's going to be Facebook as well as Instagram. But we are doing a double and triple tier marketing play. And that's why we can't do vehicles, because that takes so much money out of the cash flow up front. So if you do it in the marketing side, and then you do it in the development side, and then you do it in the tooling side, we run out of breath. And we have to be able to breathe is money, and money is time, and time is energy, and energy gets you crazy. And so we've gone after that strategy. We think the more branding characters we can do to start off with is the safest way for us to move in all the stuff you just said. And it was a long answer to a lot of questions.
The KISS line is fantastic. Do you plan on expanding on the KISS characters?
Yes, absolutely. So we launched the first 2 characters with Target last year, and we just showed the Catman. We previewed him. I think it was about a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I think it was yesterday, the day before, we showed the back of the head of Spaceman. So he's going to be coming out. So actually,
look at that.
And these guys will all be coming out this year. The other 2 guys. I can show you that. So here's the license for approved.
You can or cannot?
I can't. I'm this character. Okay. Pretty cool. So yeah, we'll be doing it. And then a little later down the road, we'll decide on end of the road and how we want to handle that.
I have that. With the success of the monster lines, have you considered like a cult classic like Dark Shadows? Or cryptozoology characters like Bigfoot, Mothman, and
Just so we all know, we have considered everything in every category. I mean, there has not been an idea that it's not the considering, it's the execution. Some of the stuff you just talked about, we're in the process of executing. I'm like, again, I can't tell you because he's bailiwick. But what we're looking for, and
we love suggestions from you guys on what we should be doing because we don't know it all. I mean, we know the classic horror, we know a lot of horror, but you guys, you know, if you specialize in horror, if you know that, we definitely want to hear from you. So put your suggestions up on Ambassador, and let's talk about it. Absolutely.
By the way, just so you know, Nosferatu was one of those brands that came out of nowhere because that was a 1930 character,
right?
And it just blew up.
We love horror.
Are you going to be expanding the types of base bodies you're using? Like you used to have the over muscle body, you had the shorter teen body and stuff to accommodate different characters?
So the answer is yes, because there are certain characters that just don't make sense for that big muscular body. So the answer is yes. To a limited degree, as Mego does. You know, we're not going to create a body for every.
Hey, Marty. A lot of my customers have been asking for accessory packs, just basic changes of clothes and stuff like that. I know a lot of the guys do the customs and whatnot, but is there any future for that in the company itself?
You just do the accessories?
Yes, accessories only, like outfits and such like that. That's what.
For the sake of this discussion, not in the near future.
Okay.
And the reason for that, it takes as much. Remember, we have one body.
Yes.
So if you mold the butt, boom. So, but when you start doing cut and sew, that means that cut piece and cut and sew is not going on a figure.
Yes.
And so it just, for us, we haven't, our manufacturing has not caught up with our distribution.
Yes.
In this balance. I mean, this company, for all intents and purposes, is not quite a year old in terms of delivering goods. We started delivering goods until July 15th last year, so we're already 11 months old in terms of delivering product. And so we're still, crawling in infantile.
I've got the latest release of the Ambassador newsletter.
All right.
I'll put them out. We'll give them out after, but it's got a bunch of them. Any other questions?
Any plans to do any 3 and 3/4 inch scale figures?
Yes. When? We'll let you know. Keep it on your radar. Again, remember, each one of those has a simple tool. Now they're small, so it's not that level. Once we go through this process, the one thing we found in a couple of things is that some of the larger retailers are separating out the collector's business from their toy shelves into what they call the entertainment area, which is a totally different section in the store. And they've got the collectibles, and they have unique product in that area where they're privileged enough to be segued over to. We're going to be in toys, but as well as in the entertainment area. So the more product that we come out that is collectible, the more shelf space we can acquire. More shelf space, that's real estate. Real estate it becomes a bigger brand. So we have to eventually do that. It's not in the foreseeable future. By the way, at my age, anything beyond 90 days is the foreseeable future.
I got a question. What can we do besides, not you guys, what can we do?
I got to answer that question.
You know what? I'm all ears.
Listen, you know what has made this thing work this past year and has driven the product as well as is the ambassador program. I mean, that is really what, because these are the advanced guard, these are the people, the believers, the people who want to go up there and help us. The more ambassadors we can get on board around the country, the stronger it becomes. And that becomes a focal point for us internationally. We did not exist outside the four corners of the United States this year. That's where we lived. We just opened up Canada 60 days ago, when goods are on the shelf. We're in the process of opening up Europe.
That's Europe. It's Europe. It's a new license.
Yes, thank you. Direct connection.
George Lucas, Star Wars is good.
That's George Pillow. So. Yeah. Anyway, so having said that, the guys are on the ground. The guys that look for the new ideas. The guys that turn around and do the collections, looking for when the new waves come out. Those are the guys that we need. So what you guys can do if you can, if each of you guys bring in one ambassador each, we have about 3,200 now. If we get to 7,500 by the end of the year, it's spectacular. But if we get to 4,500, I'm happy. All I'm saying to you is the more ambassadors we have, the stronger we are. The stronger we become at grassroots, because this is a grassroots campaign. When I went to, Joe and I went to San Diego last year. I don't know how many guys have been to Comic-Con, the big ones. I mean, it's overwhelming. To get any kind of what they call marketing, share of voice is impossible. Who cares about one little company coming out? I mean, and we had Joe Namath with us. We still couldn't get above the crowd, magic crowd. So we know we're a grassroots program, and this is the grassroots. And if this grassroots can turn around and help us get more grassroots, and I don't care if they're weeds. We can replant, we can get the weeds out, we'll get the good. But we just want to get out there, and we want to be able to turn around and talk to you guys, and talk to more of you guys, and get a spiritual hook there.
Just more of a curiosity thing. How do you decide with some of the classic characters that you might have done before whether to reuse an old sculpt or go with something new?
Well, you can't go with old sculpts that were, all the tools for the sculpts were pretty much done. If you're talking about...
Or like a remake, more of a remake or something, you know.
We kind of look at the character itself and see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, we'll do it. If it doesn't make sense, we'll resculpt. So it's kind of one of those, make a decision,
Well, some of the characters have evolved. Iron Man is evolved. You see the difference. I mean, when the character evolved, Thor was a better example. has evolved. So when you look at these characters, we'll look at them and see where they were and where they are now, and what that balance is in terms of what the sale is.
I wanted to kind of go on that question too. Well, like for instance, the Star Trek figures, you know, they use the old Mego heads, but Muhammad Ali has a different head. I kind of figured maybe it would be you know, a smaller version of the original Mego head. So I think that's what I was thinking of asking too, was what makes you decide to use a classic head as opposed to, you know, not using a Mego Muhammad Ali and shrinking it down? Why a new head there?
Sometimes it has to do with the licensor.
Ah.
And the licensor will tell us, yes, you can use that head, or no, you can't use that head. You've got to create a new head. And they want approval through that process.
Sure,
so,
sure.
You know, the Muhammad Ali head, it was a good head. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a spot-on likeness.
Well, the new one's pretty awesome
but
too.
The new one's awesome, you know. But it went through licensor approval. They made the changes, and we have to follow their changes.
Oh, sure,
so,
sure.
Sometimes we just get kind of caught up in that.
Just so you guys know, Paul is a straight hook to everybody. I mean, the guys have been coming in for years. I'll take his pulse. So, you know, at the end of the day, we don't miss a beat of how you guys are thinking, because when we start to stray, he pulls us back to the process of where everybody's heads in this room. Now listen, we don't think as one, but we think as one entity. And in that context, we don't want to get outside the entity. We don't want to be out there someplace. I mean, we can start there, we can end over here, but we don't want to go down that road. So that's part of, that's what, by the pool. Good job. Yes.
All right, okay.
Any new two-packs in the future? They kind of stopped.
Yeah, two-packs because we have to really focus on the singles, because the retailers were pushing us for the singles. The problem we have with the two-packs is there's a lot of air in there, and it takes up a lot of shelf space. You know, where you have one two-pack, you can literally fit 3 other characters. So, you know, the retailers have kind of come back to us. We will get back into two-packs. We're changing the package a little bit so that it's
a little tighter.
Yeah, a little tighter. Yeah, a little more square.
Cool.
So,
They look great.
They do. They look fantastic.
I was just wondering, I know you talked about toolings, the expense of it, and the blue and gray Batman, I loved it in the 14-inch. If you want my money again, any chance of doing them with like a fist fighting 14-inch, like Batman, like you did?
That's a whole new body.
Well, that's
if you look at the fist fight, it's a mechanism inside,
so
you have to redo the whole thing.
Okay.
Now, a different head, yeah.
But not a fist fight or a magnetic hands like we had back in the.
Well, we can do magnetic cans. We can do, yes.
You could do that, but the body, no.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll steal that. We'll steal that.
What are the chances on some of those great two-pack Target figures to be repacked as a single with different card art to reflect the new?
Well, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is the Wizard of Oz, which we've done.
Genie, Bewitched,
yeah,
love those.
Yep. Absolutely.
They're still in Target, right? Still get them in Target?
The answer is yes, we will.
So kind of a follow-up with two-packs, since some sets were basically just two-packs, are those lines like Mirror Mirror now going to be followed up with single figures to keep that going?
Yeah. Yep.
The latest wave, you talk about the Wizard of Oz going into the single packs with the new card backs. That was more for overseas distribution. Is that the
Yeah.
we can't order wholesale through license to play?
They can. So license to play will bring them in, some goods. That was actually a specific request from Australia, who the Australian post office sells toys within the actual post office. It's genius because people go into the post office, they can pick up a toy, pick up a package, and mail it out in the same place. So they actually asked for those Wizard of Oz single packs. And, you know, we did it for them, but we will bring some goods in for license to play.